Hey everyone, it's Nico, and holy crap, did I want to make a video on a fan game. This is a fan game that I just got done playing. It's called Castlevania Revamped. And if you're not familiar with what it is, it's a fan-made passion project that takes the original NES Castlevania featuring Simon Belmont and turns it into a Metroidvania. When I first heard about it, I just thought it was going to be the NES Castlevania game, just minorly tweaked to be a Metroidvania and be like one cohesive map instead of just like, you know, the levels, the designated start and finish levels. But wow, I am blown away after playing this because you can tell that the team that developed this put so much passion and has so much appreciation for the Castlevania franchise because it just oozes it from every second that you spend playing this. You can just feel it. They nailed the movement of Simon. It has the 8-direction whipping. There's different whips you can use. There's a card system from Circle of the Moon. The graphics are really well done. They're not straight out of the NES game, but they're more akin to like what you might have seen in like Castlevania 3 when Konami really had the kind of pixel art style nailed. And there's a ton of different music that draws from the Castlevania franchise, not just the NES Castlevania themes, but some others as well. There's tons of boss fights, plenty of power-ups in just like upgrades like your heart capacity for your sub-weapons, your health. You can slide under like gaps like you would in like a Mega Man game. There's just so much going on in this game that just really impressed me. I mean, it has 3 different difficulty settings. There's 4 different endings. With, you know, there's a gallery, so you can even view like a bonus piece of artwork. It has a bestiary. It's a shame that this is a fan game. Like, this is fantastic. And it's only on PC, and it's free, so you can absolutely play this for yourself. I'll have a link in the description to the developer's video, which has a link in their description to download this if you want. I don't know how long it'll be available, seeing as Konami is the rightful IP holder. And the reason why this is probably still up is because they're not making money off it. It was just a passion project. But this is an example of one of those games that is just so well done, and you look at it and you say, man, like some fans created this. Like, fans created something that's better than anything Konami has done with the Castlevania franchise in probably over a decade, because they don't do much. They kind of just license out, you know, for DLCs and the characters to be in like Smash Brothers and stuff like that, or in Dead Cells. And that stuff is cool, but we really need like a proper Castlevania sequel, and we don't get it. And if you're a Castlevania fan, like I am, you really owe it to yourself to play this, truthfully, because it's that fun. And I'm pretty picky. I went into this kind of understanding that it was a fan game, but I wasn't expecting something super high quality because it wasn't an official Castlevania product. But man, it can be. It could be. If you sat somebody down that didn't have any idea what this was and you told them this was an official Castlevania game, they would absolutely believe you. Like, it's that good. It's that fun. It's the right amount of difficult. It's fun to explore. There's this one kind of design idea that they were really dead set on, where you'd be going kind of in a linear path, and then like you'd fight a boss and you'd get a new item to help you progress, but it wouldn't be where you're going. So then you would have to backtrack. There's a lot of forced backtracking, and you kind of need to really pay attention to your map and remember, you know, where maybe you need a ice whip or a fire whip or the thunder whip or maybe a double jump or the ability to go underwater or whatever the case may be. There's a ton of different power-ups and upgrades like that, but they really seem pretty dead set on making you turn around shortly after finishing a boss fight. So there's a good bit of backtracking. There are plenty of like these warp orbs that you can warp to any of the other ones that you've come across. Like I mentioned before, there's a card system. So there's a shop you can spend your money in. You could buy these different cards and you can equip 3 at a time. And they give you some different kind of variables, mostly upgrades, but they kind of like maybe they alter your dash or something like that. And there's a good bit of variety here. Like there's so much that I don't even want to spoil it all, because I feel like everybody should play this, especially if you're a Castlevania fan, which you probably are if you're watching this video, because it's that much fun to just play it for yourself. It's probably like I think it took me maybe 2.5 to 3 hours to play through it. I didn't 100% it or tinker with any of the harder difficulties or the boss rush mode or anything like that. That was just like my regular playthrough, which I think was between 70 and 80% completion. But it's so good. I can't emphasize enough how well done this game is. Like, it's just so much fun. Simon controls so good in this. And that, I feel like, is something that's kind of really hard to nail, especially when you incorporate, like, the 8-direction whipping, and you add all these other abilities and things that are not necessarily in past Castlevania games. Like, you have this kind of wall jump thing that is kind of pulled from the NES Ninja Gaidens, where you can slide on the wall and you can, like, climb up the wall by jumping up the wall. And just stuff like that. Like, everything just fit really well into the Castlevania universe. Even if it was something new and original that they weren't drawing from anything else, it just felt right here. And I think that's really hard to do when you're working on a game that's for a franchise that's so beloved. And again, this is just a free fan game. It's nothing official, but it's like players that play this, like myself, are Castlevania fans. And as a Castlevania fan, I genuinely enjoyed this and really wished it was an official game, because I thought it was that well done. Like, they took the NES Simon Belmont run Castlevania game, turned it into a Metroidvania, and they crushed it. Like, these guys here should genuinely make their own indie game that is in the Castlevania style, but maybe make their own IP. And, you know, maybe it will just get lost in the abyss and nobody will really pay attention to it, which there's a lot of indie games out there. It's very easy to get lost in the mix. But now that you have interest from fans, you can maybe use this free Castlevania revamped game to maybe help you market your next project. Just an idea, I mean, but yeah, it's a really fun and polished game that's surprising throughout, with some different boss fights that draw from other Castlevania games. A pretty fitting finale boss fight, which I won't spoil. Lots of upgrades, things that keep you busy. If you die, you know, you lose half your money. So there's actually a card that you can equip that'll have it so you drop your money, kind of like how you do in Shovel Knight, which is pretty cool. There's just a lot of really thought out mechanics, and it's all implemented so well. Like, I'm so surprised. I don't even really know what else to say. Like, they just did such a great job. As a Castlevania fan, any of the developers are watching this, which they're probably not. Like, I tip my hat to you. You guys crushed it. Like, you said this was a passion project. It was evident from the first 15 minutes that I spent with this that it was going to be a fun game, and it genuinely felt like you poured a lot of heart and soul into this. And I applaud you for that, and I appreciate you for that, because that is not something that's easy to do with a long-running, beloved franchise like Castlevania. So if they decide to do more fan games like this, I would be all for that. I don't know how sustainable that is. I'm sure it took a lot of work for them to make this and then to not make any money off it. But just floating the idea out there to maybe make a Metroidvania, you know, pixel art game of your own and start your own IP, because I'm sure the interest would be there after this amazing showing. So this was Castlevania Revamped. I had a ton of fun with it, It's a free fan game. Sure, it's not official, but it's totally worth playing. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe. Check the description. I'll have a link to their video, which you can use to download the game and play for yourself. Show these guys some love because they're making no money off this and they did a wonderful job. So I appreciate you watching this video. I hope you enjoy the game as much as I did, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one.